Welcome to Finding Myself Through Obesity. We are on episode 13. My microphone didn't work for the whole recording of the podcast, so usually I have better sound. It's been one of those weeks where a lot of things were going wrong, and today I thought we would go over the most important things that I learned out of the Emotional Weight series. When I very first started this journey, I wrote down these 10 things, and like I said in last episode, I was so surprised of all the things that I learned about myself. So I saw this quote that I thought was perfect because the Emotional Weight series was basically learning the truth about myself. And so this quote said, "The degree to which a person can grow is in direct proportion to the amount of truth that they can accept about themselves without running away." I thought that was so good because it's so hard to explain this journey to other people who need to lose weight, because it's like these truths that are inside of us that we don't even know are there. As I've been sharing my journey of losing 85 pounds and then gaining it all back, I have realized how many people are like me, how many people who have put the effort in to lose a lot of weight and then just gain it back because they never learned how to heal the wounds of why they started overeating in the first place. And that's what my podcast is all about, really uncovering that truth and finding out who we really are. The Emotional Weight series is representing all of the things that I didn't really want to look at, but I think that we have clues. If we'll look at the things that we're not happy with or the things that trigger us, there are clues to dig deeper and to find out what more there is to learn about that situation. The first step is simply noticing how you feel. Notice the emotion that you feel. Notice what's in your body, where you feel it in your body. Notice what memories come up. And when we're first on this journey and we're trying to sit with our emotions, we want to not eat right away. Let yourself sit through these emotions and get through those moments without stuffing them down. And that's what the food represents, or any kind of addiction represents, is stuffing those emotions down so that we don't have to feel the things that are coming up. When we were little kids, we were taught not to feel angry, not to feel sad. And then it's confusing because as you get older, you think, why am I not listening to myself anymore? When did I stop listening to myself? When did we stop trusting our own thoughts and our own feelings? If you think about that and you be curious about that, you may have a thought that comes up about the last time that you actually said how you felt and you got in trouble or something like that. And that teaches us that it's not okay to speak our mind, to feel what we feel. There's a new wave of healing that the world is going towards right now. I think the pandemic really got that ball rolling because people had to be with themselves and they had to quarantine and be in their homes and kind of break up their regular routine. And I think it's making everyone feel ready to get healthy mentally and ready to do inner healing. I actually asked my mentor if she would let me record our healing sessions because I want to take you along on this journey of me really opening up to the world and showing my wounds and showing all of the dark parts of me so that I can heal them. And maybe we will all see something beautiful come out of it. And that at the end of this, I will have lost that 150 pounds and it won't be a battle for the rest of my life. And I believe that it's possible. For all of my listeners and for the people that come to me who are struggling with their food addictions or with their weight and they are scared to start a diet again, I really want to create a membership that can give women like me the support that we need to know that we're not alone, to know that we understand. I understand what it feels like to be obese, to be 200 plus pounds and feel so alone and feel so ashamed of what we look like and not knowing why we can't change it. I always would say I want to lose weight, but now that I'm looking back, honestly, I couldn't lose the weight because the food was the only thing that was getting me through the moments, that was helping me hide. Otherwise, I would have been exposed And I wasn't ready. I was running away. Just like that quote, I was running away from that. I'm really looking forward to the healing that I am doing. And even if it takes a while for me to lose the weight, I feel inside of me that it will happen and that I will get healthy. I'm glad that I'm on here documenting this still, even after all of that happened. There's a reason that all of this happened, because so many people go on a weight loss journey just like I did. They lose the weight, they think they have all the answers, and then something hard comes up in their life and they don't know how to handle it without the food. And then the shame comes on and they blame themselves. And honestly, we didn't know how to do it any other way. And that is why I am starting this podcast. That's why I'm going on this journey. I want to pave the way for women like me who are so tired of being scared of doing a diet because they're afraid of being happy and being excited about a new life and then having something come up and gaining it all back and going back to square one again. And it's a painful place to be. And that's why I feel like this membership that I want to create is going to be so amazing, because I think that's one of the biggest things that helped me when I started to come out of this depression, was having a community that believed in me, a community that understood what I was going through. So that's what I want to be for you guys. You can do the work with me, and together we can learn. And so I just wanted to do a little review. The most important part of what I learned in the emotional weight series. With my childhood, I realized that I didn't feel safe to speak my mind and to say what I feel, which went into number 2, which was people pleasing. I felt like I had to do everything you say. I needed you to need me. And it's like all kind of snowballed into that. People pleasing, you think that you're this nice person and that you care about people, but people pleasing is really about lying and not being truthful. And then that snowballs into my marriage and the lies that I told my husband, so that I people pleased him. I told him lies and didn't tell him how I was really feeling, because I never learned how to do that. And in my marriage, me not trusting my husband, not letting go of my dad, and not trusting that he was going to take care of me, and also not communicating how I feel because I never learned how to, it caused huge problems and huge misunderstandings between my husband and I, a lot of resentment. And I was really grateful for my marriage episode, because for a long time I was a victim in my marriage, and it really brought to light the part that I did and really how much my husband has done for me, even though I didn't see it because I was looking through a lens of victimhood and I wasn't looking at myself in a true light. The 4th is I stopped dreaming, and that goes into, I'm going to do another episode about meditation, but being able to dream and hope for things in the future is so important to our growth. My husband and I had this 25 years of marriage that was pretty much the same thing over and over and over again, and it was the same struggle. It never changed, and it always got worse, and so I stopped hoping and dreaming for anything, and that is just not any way to live. And so number 5 was being honest, taking responsibility, and stepping into my power. And those, being honest, especially about the money, really taking responsibility for where I am and realizing that I wanted to belong in that acceptance from my parents and not really stepping into an adult role, and taking responsibility for my life and deciding what I want and making that happen. And so that is super important. Number 6 was dealing with negative emotions. And I loved what my mentor taught. And she said that your emotions are alarm clocks to your awareness. So when you're feeling something, breathe into it and feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to have thoughts. Journal them and just see what comes up for you, because you will be surprised at how much you learn. Number 7 was money guilt and scarcity. And I just realized how much I have let money dictate in my life. I was so scared of not having it, and I think it goes back to my dad telling me that we're not going to be able to afford to get married, and my husband always struggling financially, and my dad feeling like he has to step in and take care of me financially, and me living in his house, all these things. But there are going to be a lot of steps that I'm going to be taking to move into the direction of being independent and taking care of myself, and not having my dad be responsible for me, and realizing that I can take care of myself. And so that is going to be coming up, and I'm excited. There's a lot of fears that I have around that, and I've been working with my mentor to process those things, and it is getting better, so that is good. Number 8 is my connection to God, and just something that's always been really important to me, to feel spiritual, to feel God, to feel guided. When I'm eating good and I'm taking care of myself, my connection to God is so much better. And so I feel like the love that we have for ourselves is like a conduit to accepting God's love, because his love is always there for us, but we don't always accept it and hear it when we are not taking care of ourselves, and when we're not feeling worthy of it. That takes me to 9, self-love. We need to start listening to ourselves. Look at yourself in the mirror and don't criticize yourself. I realized how hard that was for me to look at myself in the mirror, and that would be a good challenge for any of you. If you're having a hard time, being aligned with yourself, look at yourself in the mirror every single day, and you don't even have to say anything, but just look into your own eyes and see what you see. See what comes up in your thoughts too, because that could be a clue to why you don't want to look at yourself. And then the last one is just last week's episode, and that is Unrealistic Expectations, which is something I always had because I wanted to be perfect, never make mistakes, all those things. And having those expectations, you are guaranteed to not be happy, because it's not realistic and it will never happen. Nobody is going to go through life always happy, everything going right, never getting hurt, never, struggling. And so it's just not realistic. And I'm so grateful for all of these things. It's funny how you write them down and your soul knows. Our souls know what we need. I believe that we do have the answers inside of us, but a lot of us, we're not looking for the answers. A lot of us are looking for the answers outside of us, and they're not there. The answers are inside of us. And we have to be willing to look and not be scared and not run. If you have any questions, find me on Facebook or Instagram, Finding Myself Through Obesity, or you can go to my blog, www.findingmyselfthroughobesity.com, and you will see my blog there and all of my social media and everything. So I would love to connect with you and see how you are doing, and I would love to go on this journey with you. So join me. Ask me questions. Let me know if this resonates with you, and we will see you guys next week.